Hi, thanks for stopping by. Today I'm going to give you a little short demo of Tribal Wars 2. Now, currently Tribal Wars 2 is still in beta. It's an open beta right now. I've been in it for about 2 months. I came in on the tail end of the closed beta. And what this game is it's an MMORPG, kind of like Lord of Ultima was, and Ultima Online, and a cast of others. This one so far is to me the most like Lord of Ultima, at least in looks and some of the play style, but it's different in some very specific ways too. I am, of course, your host, Duds Fried. You see me anywhere online gaming, I'm going to be Duds Fried. So come on and join me, kill me, whatever you want to do online with the games, I don't care. But I am Duds Fried, as you can see, and I'm going to show you Tribal Wars 2 now. So here we go. And hit play. Here's the first thing. When you get into Tribal Wars 2, at least in the beta, you don't get to really pick your world. And these are worlds. Right now I'm in Expertus, which is where I have been doing all of my work. If I go to these other worlds here, there's more than just these available, as I found out the hard way when I couldn't get a hold of my friend who also started this game about 2 months ago. He's on another world. I don't even know where it is, and I can't get to it. So I'm basically of no use to him. And there is no communication between worlds. So once you're on a world and you get established, you're pretty much stuck. Unless you can get lucky enough in the roll of the dice to get on a world with one of your friends. So that kind of stinks. That might be just a beta thing. Maybe so they could try to load balance across the servers. I don't know. But in any case, I'm on Expertus. So I'm going to start the game here. And it keeps upgrading. You'll see this version's changed. I've seen it all the way from 0.0 something. Now it's up to 1.31. And here you go. Here's the basic view you're going to see. This is your world. This is where you live. This is where your villages are. And this is where all of the action happens. You can scroll in and out, like I'm scrolling out to see a larger view of the world. I can grab it and kind of move if it will move, and it's not doing that. Okay, so don't do that. Again, this is a beta game, so it's still got some growing pains here. But the basic idea is to build up your village, or villages, depending on if you conquer more, and then try to conquer other villages and grow your little empire. It's called Tribal Wars, which means this is meant to be kind of a cooperative multiplayer, which means you want to have more buddies in your tribe. The more buddies you have, the stronger your tribe. Okay, now you see we're getting the music, and it'll probably crash the game. I'm going to turn this down a bit. The music changes, like I have a battle going on right here. I've got... I'm attacking somebody right now, and you can see this little attack icon here. I'm attacking this barbarian village, and the music will change to this kind of ominous battle music. Not that anybody cares, but it's kind of a nifty effect. You'll see if I change to another one of my villages that I have that isn't doing anything nasty, the music gets soft and light and very peaceful. So that's kind of a neat little feature, but unfortunately in this game the music seems to crash the game. At least it does in my browser, my current browser of choice, which is Chrome. So anyway, it's a browser-based game, as you can see here. Again, your primary objective is to grow your tribe, and how you do it is through attacking other players. You have barbarian villages, which you can capture, just like you would capture, you know, a real person's village, like, say, these folks up here. You always know a barbarian village because they're called Barbarian Village. If you stop playing the game for a while, you abandon it, well, your village will turn in, like this one right here, this Pampelines. He stopped playing the game, so his village became a barbarian village. Much like Lu, Lord of Ultima is what I mean by Lu. Attacking is how you get resources, major resources, and how you advance in the game, how you get points. There really isn't, unlike Lord of Ultima, there really isn't such a thing as a farming village or anything like that. There's really offensive, defensive, and pretty much kind of a resource building, but not really in the sense of if you've played Lord of Ultima. My tribe happens to be called Lou Reforged because it's kind of homage to the kind of game that got me into these games, the MMORPGs like this. So attacking and defending, of course, takes troops. That's the major part of this game. You can build resources, do all kinds of stuff. That's pretty much straightforward. But your big thing is building troops. And generally, the easiest way to do it is when you start the game, you'll see this little bar up here of troops that you have, and you go click it, and that lets you choose more troops to build if you have the resources. Of course, everything costs resources. Troops, buildings, weapons, all that stuff costs resources. It can also cost a different kind of resources, coins. Coins are the in-game currency. This is a free game, meaning that upgrades cost you. Well, they can. You can earn them by getting more points, but you can get those upgrades a lot faster if you buy them, which is what freemium is all about, of course. Like I can get, for 50 coins, I can get 20 mounted archers. Well, I'd rather just build them than buy them. This translates to very real money. If you had 50 coins you are going to come from your wallet. If you click over here on this little coin, it's going to open a dialogue and probably crash the game because of the music. But you see here, if I pay $5, I can get 200 coins. $11, I get 450. And I could also choose to earn them by basically participating in online surveys and giving people my email address so they could spam me, that kind of thing. But depending on what you want to put up with, you can get free coins, you see here. 269 coins if I just go to this place here and do that. So it's up to you if you want to buy them. I'm trying not to. I have actually gone the route of doing the surveys net to earn a few coins and get a little leg up here, and that's completely legit. But, Anyway, we'll go back here to my first city that's doing an attack. And the music will change. Big ominous music. And what I chose to do was I chose to attack this village. To attack anything, you just basically click it and you get the action wheel here. Everything from sending spies, so you can try to see what you're attacking before you go there instead of attacking blind like I'm doing here. Presets, this lets you choose, say you have a set troop constituent you made. You can set that here and then send here. Send army, well, that's just what we're doing. You click this and you can choose the troops you want to send with this slider. You can also choose, if you've got the upgrade or you bought coins or you earned it, you can choose special officers who will do everything from increase your attack strength to increase loot that you get when you do your attack. You can do any of that. So, but again, you have to earn them. Again, it's a freemium thing. If I wanted to, I could send resources to anybody. If I wanted to send resources, I could click here and see, I could boost the production. I'm sorry, that's the boost production. Yes, that's kind of a way I can spend coins and boost the production of what I'm attacking, because I know I'm not going to be hitting any troops. Usually by now there's no troops left in the barbarian village. It's really just a farming thing. And if I wanted to boost production so I got more loot, I would go ahead and do that. Groups, you see, this is where I can decide. I could be an offensive, defensive. I can assign whatever groups I want. It's basically a kind of a counting thing. If I want to know this village, what kind of strength it has, this is where spying comes in. It tells me, okay, this is what I had the last time I sent something, or what my units, how fast my units go. These are reports from the last time I attacked, things like that. The village particulars. So I'm trying, whatever you want to do. You can pretty much, it's going to all center around this wheel. If I want to send resources to this village, I can send them to anybody. I just do the slider, bam, so I say I wanted to send resources to an enemy village. I could do it if I wanted to. There's no limitation. So, kind of I mean, let's say you're trying to recruit tribe members, well, send them some resources and a message and say, hey, join my tribe, here's some timber, or here's some clay, or here's some iron. You have, by the way, speaking of resources, you have 3 primary resources to deal with. And what I'll do is I'll switch to view here, will go from the world view to your village view, which is again much like Lord of Ultima. And there you can see you have your buildings, and your resources flank them. The farm is provisions, which is what basically gives you food for your troops. That one's kind of separate. You have the iron mine, the clay pit, and the timber camp. Depending on what you're building, you will take different amounts of these resources. Say I wanted to upgrade the tavern. And you can also do this just by hitting your building queue anywhere, either in world view or in this view. You know, I could basically go to my headquarters, because everything flows from headquarters. Click it. And here you see everything I can build. Well, there's a cost for anything you do in life, and no different in this game. Say I wanted to upgrade my warehouse to the next level. In this case, I'd need 53,805 timber, and 51,201 clay, and 45,000 of iron. You see, everything costs. It costs no provisions because it's an inanimate object. It's a building. Some things take provisions as well as resources. In that case, then you have to account for that too. In this case, resources, I have low resources because I basically have about 5,000 troops that I've built on this, and they take resources. But say I go to the different building types here, like say the Academy or Hall of Orders, there's different items or different items you can build. If you have a Hall of Orders basically is what you use to set what your village will be doing. Is it an offensive village, which means you're doing a lot of attacking? Is it defensive, which means, of course, you're doing a lot of defending? You know, is it basically a resource kind of producing village? Well, then you have that. And your bonuses will flow accordingly once you build the Hall of Orders. Then you can see, like, if I wanted to build on Trebuchet, you see that each one takes 10 provisions as well as these resources here, the timber, clay, and iron, because, well, trebuchets need people to run them, and those people need provisions, so that takes 10 provisions. Most things like catapults and stuff like that usually don't. Say if I want to build well, I've already showed you the trebuchet. Say I wanted to build a catapult. There's the catapult. Basically, that's going to take 8 provisions because someone has to run that. So everything you pretty much build is going to have provisions, but except the actual buildings themselves. When you get to the higher levels, like this particular village, this is my highest ranking village, you'll get the Academy and Hall of Orders. That's going to take a while to build. You're going to have to get up there at least above. Your village will probably be above 5,000 points of value before you start seeing stuff like Hall of Orders, and they're expensive. You know, you have to use a lot of resources to build these things and to upgrade them. Hall of Orders, again, that's what sets what your village does, what its role is in building trebuchets. It also has an effect on how much it costs to build troops and maybe how fast those troops. The Academy. The Academy is another very important. Once you really get into this game, this is where you recruit what's called noblemen. Noblemen are a lot like the barons in Lord of Ultima, in that you cannot take over a village without a nobleman. And once you take over the village, you don't have that nobleman anymore. He stays in that village. And as a consequence, noblemen cost you. Let's see what this one costs. 100 provisions, which are gone forever. Now, how do you get noblemen? Well, you can't just build them like you can build, say, a spearman or a swordsman or something like that. You have to mint a coin. And right now, in fact, I'm going to show you minting a coin, because I have the resources to do so. I'm going to mint a coin. And there you see I've minted a coin. Now, there's a certain amount of coins you need to be able to build a nobleman. So if I want to build a nobleman, I have to have not only these resources, but I have to have a certain amount of coins. And you see his value is to basically go with troops. You bring him in at the end of an attack to reduce the loyalty of a village. That's how you get a village. Loyalty usually starts out around 100 or 90% for a village you're attacking. As you attack, that goes down. But if you put a noble in the mix, he'll drop this 20 to 35 points. This guy will, at least. Which means if you send him 3 or 4 times to a 100-point village, you're going to get that village, because once that village loyalty goes to 0, you own it. but you can't do that without a nobleman. So he's probably your most important officer, really. So I've minted the coin, and let's see. Yeah, I still don't have enough though to mint another coin. I need, yeah, I've got 0 of 1. Right. So if I wanted to make another nobleman, I'd make another nobleman. Right now I still need some resources to be able to do that. Apparently I don't have enough right now. Yeah, that's why. I have the coins. What I don't have is the timber and the clay. If I had that, I could make a new nobleman right now, send him into battle, and go try to claim somebody's village, or even a barbarian village. Other important structures in your village you're going to have, most everybody will have. The tavern, that's where you recruit spies. Spies are like any other game. You can use them to go sneak up on other players to see what they got, what you're facing before you do a battle. Headquarters. Headquarters is directly responsible for doing things like letting you build other things, other buildings, and reducing the time it takes to build those buildings. Barracks. Well, the barracks are pretty much giving you the bonuses for your troops. So basically, if you do the barracks, this is, and let you build troops, of course. But as you increase its value, you see this research progress. You get better abilities, increased defensive, increased building speed, that kind of thing. So upgrading barracks. If you're an offensive village, especially, you want to concentrate on the barracks, the tavern, and the academy. That's probably your most important 3 right there. Statue. The statue lets you recruit an officer called a paladin. A paladin is a guy who goes with your troops and basically can boost them or boost their specs, their stats. So say you want better loot when you're heading a barbarian village. All right, you can change his weapon, and you earn weapons as you play the game. For plunder resources, for example, this one increases any loot I get. Attack villages, if I chose this one, that would give me an increased attack bonus. As would this would. It all depends on what you're trying to do with him. He's basically a walking bonus for you. And he comes from the statue, so that's important. Warehouse, this gives you storage, just like you kind of think it would. Hospital, this is for defending troops. If you get attacked and you've got a hospital online, the higher level the hospital is, the more troops you can resuscitate. You see here I can do 300 because it's max level. So if I had guys who got hurt defending, I could use the hospital to try to heal them. Of course that costs, but still it's good. It's cost less in time and in resources than trying to build new troops if you're under attack. The chapel or the church, depending on what you're attacking or that, this is really the core of loyalty in a village. One of the first things I go after when I'm attacking a village is the chapel or church, and I use that using the catapult. The catapult and the ram are the 2 siege weapons that you really have use of in the game. The ram really only takes down walls. That's the first thing you need to get down when you're attacking a village, which is this thing. If you get this down to 0, then you can start really doing some damage with your troops. When you do the catapult, the ram can do nothing but damage to walls. The catapult can do damage to buildings. The first building I usually go after the wall's down, I go after the church or the chapel, because that is directly responsible for keeping up the level of loyalty of the village you're attacking. You hit that and you start seeing a pretty big hit in that coming down, more so than if you just start attacking other things here. Another strategy I use is I always use the siege weapons, again the catapult and the ram, and I also start attacking, when I'm attacking village, if I want to take it, not just decimate it, I'll attack their statue, because that denies them a paladin, so they don't have any resource or any stat boosters there. I'll also attack the rally point, so they can't do any kind of groupings or that. That's what that really is for, so you can preset groups, which kind of cripples the defense. I'll attack their hospital. Usually statue, my order of operations for attacking a village is usually wall, statue, hospital, and then from there, once I get those down, I go after their barracks and their headquarters. Again, headquarters has everything to do with building, so if they're trying to rebuild something I'm attacking, if I take their headquarters down, that increases the time it takes for them to rebuild. Things like the Academy, Hall of Orders, those, if they even have them, those are kind of last on the list because those are really an offensive kind of thing, and they're not being very offensive if you're attacking them. The market, usually, yeah, that might be if I've got anything else to go. The tavern, so they can't spy, I'll attack that. But really, the big three, maybe the big four, are the wall, statue, hospital, and barracks. Headquarters comes in as well, so big five, really. The rest of them, I don't like to attack resources. I'd rather grab the village with the resources as high as they can, because if I get the village, I get it as is, which means if I go in there and start taking down their clay pit or their timber camp or iron mine, the resources, even though you think in Lord of Ultima you take down resources to hurt their building, that isn't as big in play here with Tribal Wars 2. I want to take down their defenses and grab the village, and when I grab that village, I don't want to have to spend a lot of time rebuilding resources. I want to spend my time rebuilding headquarters and barracks and hospitals and stuff like that. I want to have those resources there. I don't want to waste a lot of time. So that's my strategy. You may want to think about that yourself. Speaking of that, that's basically a siege strategy, but there is no quote-unquote siege. You can make a group that's siege, which has catapults and things like that in it, and noblemen. But there is no siege action like there was in Lord of Ultima. Everything is kind of manually done here. And again, this is a beta game, so things can get a little goofy. But as you see, this guy is going to attack, and if you look at the icon, you can see that when it's blue going forward, that means he's just about ready to attack. He's just about there from the progress there, and when it's green, he's returning with the loot. Really, what else to say about it? There isn't a lot. That's really the bulk of it. You get achievements. Achievements will sometimes give you unlocks, will give you extra resources, stat boosters, that kind of thing, depending. And you earn them by doing certain things, attacking other villages, meeting a certain resource production level, that kind of thing. Tribe, all that stuff, whatever tribe bonuses are. These are all points. These are all things that affect your player status and your tribe status. So that's what the achievements are, but mainly I use them because sometimes I get boosters out of that. Like, for instance, because I completed a certain sequence of events and got the achievement, I ended up with an extra build slot. Most of the time you only get 2 unless you click the coin here and buy more. So otherwise, I mean, basically, what the similarities to loot, yeah, you're attacking stuff. You advance in this game by attacking stuff and taking over stuff. In Lord of Ultima, it was a little easier to build new villages, new little kingdoms, but in this, the only way you're building anything new that I've found so far is to attack somebody else's stuff. You can actually attack and try to take over a barbarian village. I don't see much point to it unless you're just trying to get more real estate. It's usually better, like these 2 villages I have here in Serra-deux and Telesis are villages I took over, but I took them over from inactive players, which is a good thing to do. Really, you might as well use them instead of letting them go to a useless barbarian village. Tactics, send waves of troops, send your noblemen. If you're attacking a village, send your noblemen in the last 3 or 4 attacks you do. The rams are only good for the wall. Don't bother sending them after your wall is down. Just do catapults. Also, if you're a defender, I'll show you something here. There is an item called a trebuchet, which you can only build if you have a Hall of Orders. The trebuchet is the weapon that can actually destroy siege weapons, which means those rams and catapults coming to take down your wall, if you've got any number of these things, they can destroy them. It's really the only thing that can. And that could actually save you from being taken over easily. In fact, I have, like in just this city alone, I have 27. I tend to station these in my villages as soon as I take them over. They may not have any other troops, but they'll have these once I start rebuilding walls and that kind of thing. Because the strongest attack resource you have against a village is the siege weapons. So you want to make sure. that you get those. Now, see, we just came back. We just got a report from attacking this barbarian village, and that'll lead us right into the reports. And see the reports. Anything you do is going to generate a report. If you send resources, if you attack a village, like we'll read this report here. We just attacked, and you see the catapult. I took his barracks from level 8 to 0. That's a lot of damage. I sent over almost 4,000 troops. You can see attack modifiers. You know, what's your percentages. And of course they have it on as way of a bar. How you did, who you took out, that kind of thing. Now, here's the thing. If you lose a battle, you're not going to know how many people you took out. Let me find one that's like that, as a matter of fact. It'll be a while because I haven't really taken a village in a while. Let's see. All right, here's one I did attack. And he didn't have any troops, so that's not helpful. Let's go to our next here. And this is just going through reports. A lot of barbarians. And you see a lot of these attacks on barbarian villages, mostly because I'm looking for resources. And I really don't want to attack anybody unless I really feel the need. There's a lot of these people, there is nothing there. Okay, yeah, so I'm not prepared. What I'm looking for is actual defender resources here. And not getting anything there. Okay, there we go. Now you can see I attacked his village, and I attacked him with 756. He had 40. He lost 40. And here I can see what he lost. Had I lost this battle, and you can tell by the color code here, a draw means gold, green means you won, red means you lost. So let's see if we can find one where I lost a battle, which has been a while, but we'll see here. And this is something I kind of don't like about this game. It's kind of a ding on it I'm not happy with. But if you lose a battle, and I'm hoping I can find, scroll, 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 of course. Okay. I don't see one. Let's see if we got... let's go to the next page. Alright, apparently it's scrolled off. I think I got 100, but let's see this draw battle. I lost one. Okay, this was a village I was actually attacking. And I conquered him, and I used a nobleman, and I got the village. That means I got the village's loyalty down to 0, but you can see I'm not getting a lot of info here on his losses. I don't know what he did. It's kind of hidden. So, and you won't even see this. Everything will be hidden. If you lose a battle, all you know is you lost troops, but you don't know what. If nobody comes back, you don't know what he lost or what he sent at you, which is kind of annoying. But all right. Anyway, that's the reports, and that's a battle report. There's other reports like, you know, if you send supplies or stuff that isn't battle related will show up here. And then the settings, this just lets you set what kind of reports, what they show up as. So there you go. Anyway, that's kind of the basics of it. You do an attack, you don't do an attack. You basically do your resource farming. You upgrade troops if you want to build more troops. I kind of showed you this earlier. You know, spearmen, you're going to build more spearmen than anything else. They're the backbone. They're primarily a defensive troop. They're the best bang for the buck in the game as far as the defensive. Nothing is this well balanced. There's troops that have better stats, but for what they cost, they're the best bang for the buck. You should always have at least 1,000 of these in your village. They cost you virtually nothing. Swordsman, archer, heavy cavalry. As you go up in rank in the village, you get access to these guys. These are the guys that are going to do all the work for you. These guys, offensive units, they're not going to do a hell of a lot for you. when your village is being attacked. These are the guys you send for the attack. Probably the best bang for the buck is on the offensive. Axe Fighter's pretty good, but light cavalry, mostly because his offensive, you see it's 130 as compared to, say, the Axe Fighter, who is 60, say. But he costs a little more, but he does more damage. He can carry more loot, that kind of thing. Also, as you research buildings and upgrade buildings in your village, you unlock little bonuses. Like, for example, this one, Large Ground. Okay? Increases discipline. Discipline increases your army arrival time, which means, I don't know what that means. Sometimes the stuff, this is in beta. I don't know why to me that says they're slower. I don't know. But, whatever. Fortified roof. Okay, that means if somebody attacks your barracks, which is where all these come from, with a catapult, well, you got a 50% stronger roof, so it's not going to fall as fast. So, and the only way to do it is to research the building, which you basically do through your headquarters, or you can do straight like I just did, click on the open building slots, and you see what they cost, and if you can. And you see also what points they give you. As you build stuff and upgrade stuff, it adds to the points of your village. And they all have max levels. Usually 30 is about the max level on most buildings. Some of them are lower, some are like 5, some are 10, some are 20. But for the most part, most of them are around 30. Well, like these are 15. The important ones are around 30, like your resource builders, your headquarters, your barracks, that kind of thing. The important ones, the warehouse, those are usually max at 30. So I don't know. That's kind of it. That's the basics of the game. It's a lot. If you've played any of these RPGs, a lot of this is the same. Some of it's a little different. Some of the stuff I don't like. The reporting is a little vague. I don't like it. I don't like the fact that if my friend is on a different world, he can't even message me. He can't join my world, because right now I think it's because it's in beta, it's kind of, they just kind of pre-populate the servers or whatever. They just kind of load balance, so you don't get to pick, which kind of stinks, because I got a friend who's been playing this as long as I have, and he can't get on the world I have, so I can't help him, and he's already been attacked. So that kind of thing. But it's worth checking out. But really, I'm kind of on the fence right now. I haven't really yet. I probably will after this video, but I haven't really been attacked. I've been spied, but not attacked yet. So I don't know what the bully factor is in this game. That was one bad thing about Lord of Ultima. You could have a lot of people hitting you and really couldn't do a heck of a lot about it. It really wasn't very fair. There's a little more at risk here when you attack a village. When you attack another player. That's why I'm not real quick to be attacking too many people at one time. I'm basically kind of building my resources right now before I start getting too big for my britches. But I would say, basic core concepts. When you're doing attacks, make sure you have the troops. Make sure you have a nobleman if you want to try to capture a village. Use your siege weapons to take down their resources and their defensive. The only thing that takes down walls really is a ram, and once you take them down, they're useless to you. Then you start with the catapult to go after their other resource or their other buildings in the village. Make sure you have defenses. Get that Hall of Orders up. Get those trebuchets so you can actually take out those siege weapons and make it a lot harder for someone to take you out and take over your village. Resource building, effective use of resources, sending resources to your friends, your tribe mates, your own villages to try to help move things along. It's all basic RPG strategy in this game. It's a good game. It plays pretty quick. It's still a little buggy, like the music usually crashes the game, but it's worth checking out. So hopefully this has been kind of helpful. I know it's been a little kind of all over the place, but they have an introductory video that you can watch on their page if you want to. If you want to know more or really want to get into some of the intricacies of this game, I just kind of showed you my viewpoint as a player. So anyway, have fun, give it a try, and we'll be talking to you.